Hi there, this is Chris from MoneyHub, and the purpose of this video is to explain exactly what online loans are, the pros and the cons, and the alternatives. First up, I just want to say that there's absolutely no urgency to apply for a loan. Many people feel as if there is, and they see offers and it sounds very compelling, but we really want people to compare the market, make sure they know what they're doing, make sure what all the fees are and the costs are, just so they can make a balanced and informed decision. Too often throughout New Zealand, people sign up for loans, they're desperate, and the debt that's created is very expensive and it's hard to pay back. And I've seen this too many times. It's super annoying and it's very easily avoidable as well. So let's just go through the guide here. So I've linked down below to our guide on this video. If you do have any questions, let me know by leaving comments, because we want to improve it where we can. And don't rush through reading the guide if you do have some time to read it, because it is certainly worth your time. First of all, what's the difference between online loans and payday loans? So payday loans, of course, they have very high interest loans where people take them out for possibly 2 weeks, maybe a month, usually at expensive interest rates. We've seen up to 300%. Before regulation, we saw even higher than that. And we've got a breakaway guide for the least worst payday loans. But the difference between payday loans and online loans are simply loans where you apply online, provide the information, and then you'll be given a term of usually 6 months to 3 to 5 years. But the concept of online loans can include payday loans because both of them are sort of generated online. But online loans tends to be long-term kind of personal loans. And how much can you borrow with an online loan? So usually it's going to be around $1,000, and then some lenders will let you go as high as 50,000. And if you are securing it, then it may be even higher. There's very, very high interest loans out there in the online loan space, and attached to them is very high fees as well. So be very careful, because we've seen it just all too often, and it's incredibly depressing, but yet people fall victim to them every day because of just a lack of comparison. So online loans, pros and cons. So the pros are it's convenient. You don't have to visit a bank or a building society or a finance company and meet with them. You just do it online. You may have to phone up and provide information or submit it through email or anything like that, or through a portal. But it's pretty much like an online no contact point. You'll get a really fast interest rate, which is helpful for comparing. So that will usually start around 8, 9, 10%. It can go as high as 25. Some instances it can go higher. But your credit score or credit history isn't going to be affected by applying for these loans when you don't take them out. It's just to get the offer. And the online lenders, their technology is pretty fast and pretty advanced. So they can make a complete assessment pretty quickly, which is helpful for just making these comparisons. They're easy to compare. Once you've filled out details for one, you can fill out details for another, and pretty much go from there. Get the online quote if you're accepted. Sometimes you will be rejected. That's fine, but then you can just make an inquiry with another lenders. Now, what you'll also see with online loans is that there is a possibility that you may want to consolidate debt, and so that's just a feature there where some lenders online are trying to get more sort of money on their books, and what they'll do is they'll offer a low interest rate, so usually, or if it's enticing, to move your existing debt over to them. Some of the cons, and this is very, very important, is that the interest rates can be very expensive, and much more expensive than banks and credit unions or any kind of building society. This is really important because it may seem convenient to be able to get an online loan, but if the interest rate is crazy, then it's really worth always comparing the full market, and that means going to see like credit unions. That may not be that convenient, but certainly if it saves you for like 5% interest per year plus fees, then it's very worthwhile. The cons also is that the loans will range in size, and small loans can be high fees. So this means that if you borrow $2,000, there may be a large amount of fees added onto that, and you just have to be careful of what those are and make sure you understand them. Now, online loans in general, because I previously said it falls under, like, it sort of includes payday lenders, you have to be careful of who you're dealing with. So just make sure that the lender is actually a more personal lender, a personal loan lender, rather than these sort of predators who are offering like 200% interest rate or 55% interest rates or something like that. You just have to be very careful, making sure that you're dealing with someone who's looking to actually help you and make sure you're not getting addicted to the debt. So what are the alternatives? We've got a full guide here, and if I just go straight down to there, so credit unions, they exist. We've got First Credit Union, we've got Unity. Talk to your bank. That's a very common problem. Sorry, that's a very common solution. And then credit cards also. While we're not a huge fan of credit cards, for most people, because of the high interest rates that people get charged, and the fact that balances aren't paid off. Sometimes a credit card, if it's $1,000 purchase or a $2,000 purchase, and you can get 0% for 6 months interest free, or like a low interest card, sometimes that can be more convenient. Certainly this isn't financial advice, but it's just worth something to be aware of. Then there's also free and discounted loan providers for low income. So there's things like the Good Shepherd, there's things like the Tangata Microfinance. So these are worth considering as well. So just be aware that they offer their loans through the Salvation Army and a whole bunch of different networks. So something to consider. So we are very, very sort of nervous amongst online loan space. It's not very clear to most borrowers, that the market is quite diverse, and some people just do a couple of quotes and kind of get the sales pitch and get the kind of emails and then just go through the loan. But we really want people to start comparing and making sure that they understand that the market is wide, and even if you have like not too much credit history or you've had some issues before, the best thing to do is getting a whole bunch of quotes so you can make a proper assessment as to which one's best for you. So thanks very much for watching. If you have any questions, do let us know. Please comment below, because as I previously said, we want to make the guides as comprehensive as possible and make sure that everything's as useful as it can be. Thanks very much.